Hello, and welcome to Feats and Fables, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons streaming game just for adventurers like you. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts by searching for Feats and Fables. If you want to watch us live and come hang out with us and chat, please join us on Monday nights on Twitch from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Our entire backlog is on our YouTube channel, and you can either listen to those or watch them at your leisure to catch up with the story. I'm Paige Lightman, your DM, and I'd like to welcome you to Aglarond. Aglarond is a peaceful, pastoral nation of half-elves. Our heroes of Aglarond are part of the Foresters. They're a group of elite scouts and rangers charged with defending Aglarond's borders, particularly against undead from the evil fascist nation of Thay. The heroes are heading towards the Singing Sands, racing the nation of Thay to try and recover an ancient elven artifact. The Red Wizards wish to warp the artifact to their own evil ends. Previously, on Feats and Fables, our heroes have emerged from a cave, a shortcut to the Singing Sands. They're planning on making a large left-hand turn to go and try and rescue some Gnoll matriarchs that have been held prisoner by agents of Thay. So let's meet our heroes. All right, we have Victor Toussaint, a human eldritch knight fighter played by Ron Frank.
I'm the only one still facing a hyena. I don't know if that means I did my job or I didn't do my job.
Hard to tell sometimes. Wildfire, Joe Streaky will not be here tonight. He is not feeling well. We also have Ross, a lizard folk Drake Warden Ranger Barbarian, played by Coda of Codab's Games.
Hello, everyone.
We have Malagagar, a Drow Twilight Cleric, played by Dr. Andrew Huang.
You know, usually I enjoy being sandwiched by hyenas, but not like this.
You should be so lucky. And we also have Belwyn, a dwarven paladin princess played by Ben Heisler.
Well, let's see if we're not echoing. Are we echoing?
Nope.
Oh, right. Fabulous. I'm happy to be here. We're dealing with Yeens and looking for Gnolls, and I'm driving this crazy thing tonight. It's enough to make me want to drink.
Too bad we're doing dry February into March.
Oh!
But wait! Kurgosh, with the 5-month subscription.
What? Kurgosh?
5 months.
Wait. In honor of my 5-month subiversary, I would like to object to the excessive biology-focused nature of this production. Kindly stop discriminating against.
Okay, we can start with some chemistry, buddy. I am all over that.
Yeah.
And
Let's
Brother Flower with the gift sub.
Oh,
and
yay!
Gelatinous Rube with a big chunk of change into our inspiration challenge.
I will say, I've realized after several weeks of trying to come up with inspiring quotes to put into our inspiration challenges, guys, that those quotes are actually the perfect job for Inspirobot. So please enjoy those Inspirobot-inspired quotes in our inspiration challenge.
And put a link to Inspirobot in the chat. Like, if you're feeling, like, overwhelmed by the nihilistic and absurdist nature of the world.
Damn.
Inspirobot is a good. It'll join you in that place.
Did shit just get real heavy in here? It's just me.
Yeah.
Let's keep real life out of our D&D game.
Heavy. Is there a problem with gravity in the future or something?
All right, so I better see if I can pull up the turn tracker for this here game we got.
Yay!
Oh, good. It's your fault? Even better.
It's not my fault. I just hadn't gotten to it yet.
Meow.
All I heard was the Han Solo. It's not my fault! There we go. Everybody can see the turn order. We're a little more zoomed in. We're comfy here together in this terrible situation.
For some reason, the game isn't on that turn order.
Well, I guess we know that they've already decided to give up, so...
That is, in fact, not the case.
I mean, this is the normal thing, like, well, there's not a price on it, so it must be free, right?
Right, exactly.
Because everybody who works in retail loves that shit, right?
They love it.
Yeah.
And Ben, as amazing as
you need to transition to...
Oh my god, I need to get this over. 1 minute.
Thank you, Brother Flounder.
All right, how about now?
Well, I mean, it's transferring, but...
All right, hooray!
Oh!
Since Joe is not 100% tonight, Ben is doing our technical stuff for this tonight show. So pray for us.
Ow! First of all, ow! Second of all, it's been a minute since I've had to do this, so let's all just.
I would like to point to where has Ben in relation. I would like to point to the creation of cortisol in this man's brain by my words. This is like a real life vicious mockery where damage is indicated by cortisol levels.
At least it's only a single points.
It's a free show. It's a free show, people.
Yes.
What is it? These people are paying money now for us.
I do have to say that is
paid shows.
Oh.
All right,
that is not actually true. As we all know,
Yes.
we all know that what these people actually have to pay
Yeah.
is watching us dance for our new subscribers.
Oh, that's right.
Yes!
Do we have
Let's
multiple
go!
times?
Hear the music page.
Just play the
There is
music.
no escape from the subscription music.
Yeah! 5 months! 5 months!
I wonder if Joe's going to miraculously feel better once he sees we're done dancing.
This is Joe's long plot to get out of dancing for our subscribers. Yay!
Yeah!
I think that's the cost that's actually being paid to watch this show. May it be worth it.
Oh, and thank you, Dan Goyette and Dragon Slayer for 10 inspiration challenge points. Mwah!
We know Paige danced just as much as everyone else.
I did?
So why are they helping you?
Because they like me, and because they know my dice are damn pathetic.
That's
True.
fair.
Pathetic.
True.
Watch
All
this
right.
TPK on this one fucking last giant. Like, shit's coming, yo.
She isn't even wounded.
Okay.
Yes, well, I'm aware, but we still have both Victor and future Victor up there dealing with it.
Yes. although we don't have future Victor anymore because we don't have Wildfire.
No.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
The TPK begins to spiral as we lose 2 characters immediately.
Amazing.
Oh man, did we really leave off on Ross's turn?
That's you.
Because you're
You're
top
Ross.
order.
Yes, I know.
That Ross character, he's the worst.
I mean,
Oh, man.
Ross is actually not doing too great right now. Like, he has a plethora of scrapes and bites from these hyenas.
I'm sorry, would you say that you have a plethora?
Plethora of pinatas.
That one goes out to Old Fire.
Hey, for
Oh, yeah.
anyone who's watched the Three Amigos in like the last 3 decades.
All right.
Don't worry, I'll pick you up if you drop.
Yay! All right, I'm gonna double move into.
Licensed registered cleric these days. So
Yup.
Yeah, registered in like Chults, right?
I mean Schult and and probably.
Ooh, Luskin. Luskin, yeah, that's a good other place.
Definitely registered in Luskin.
Oh, for sure.
Taking the
Where-
place of future Victor, Ross is going to come up behind Victor and provide some moral support as well as maybe a little bit of tactical support. But we all know Victor's got this. So I'm going to double move into order with my bonus action Goose to hightail it up here as well.
Okay.
You don't happen to be able to get like another square further, could you?
I don't think so. Let me take a look. Oh yeah, I could.
Excellent.
You can do it.
Hugan approves.
Done.
You can approve nothing.
He's here. He's in my lap. That means that he gets my vote, or I get his vote.
Sure.
Yeah, there we go. I get his vote.
All right. So, is that all you got? Is move?
I've got a move, an action, and a bonus.
Okay.
Most of which was spent on moving.
Fair enough. All right. Yeen Queen says, I have a foe that is bloodied, and I have a foe that is covered in chunky armor. Let me think about this.
What? Ras is also covered in chunky armor?
I am also covered in chalky armor.
Yes.
Some of the squishy bits are starting to fall out.
Yeah. Are you covered in as much chunky armor as Victor? Plate man? Really?
How familiar is this hyena with Dwarven made armor?
A hyena can see metal. It knows it hurts her teethies. Okay, so I am going to bite Ross. Offer you a 21 to hit, sir.
That is going to hit, sadly.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage. It's darn near max.
Oh, snap, really?
Yeah, it's 46. 46 plus 4, and I have 24.
Oh, I thought you were saying like the number 4 and then the number 6.
I also heard that and was like, Paige, we may need to talk about death in this.
I was like,
Nice.
I joked the TPK into existence if she's hitting us for 46 points.
Why are you such a monster?
Thank you, Dangoyet and Kurgosh. You're lovely people.
All right. Well, being unable to dodge that, I have fallen down. I'm gonna use this hilarious man slipping on banana peel icon.
Oh, I just turned your token upside down.
But man slipping.
You
on...
can put whatever tokens on it you like.
Okay.
That was good fun. Bellowin.
Oh, great. It's my turn. Now, which one of these windows do I get to actually play my game? All right. So, conveniently, my good friend Ross moved forward and then fell down, which makes things much better for me. Simply because now I can get another fight.
Aura is not on.
It's on my screen. Why you turn it off?
Which radius? 10?
It's 10 feet off of Old Grumpy.
Oh, okay. That's the malfunction. It's not on the Bellwood character. It's on hands.
Wow.
Yeah. Hello.
Right. Already with the DM inspiration, huh, y'all? Okay.
Oh, did it complete?
Did.
Oh no!
Thank you, Bologna. Thank you, Bologna. Bologna hates the players so much.
Hashtag DM inspiration TPK.
All right. Well, now that I'm there, I'm gonna hit the scene hopefully twice.
Let me check. We also have player inspiration.
Nice.
Ooh, sweet. All right. I have actions. What?
Did I just see Chakuba subscribe?
It's just I get to announce I've done this for 5 months. I didn't resubscribe. I've just continued to give money to this production that is not free. Anyways, back to this.
Just throw money in a hole.
Oh, that's going to miss.
It is.
I'm very sad about this. All right, come on.
23 will hit.
All right, 10 points of piercing.
Take it.
Zen.
No more Zen!
Okay, I don't have any more than that. That's me.
Okay. Malagagar.
Malagar is like, Ross, why are you lying down? Why don't you get up again?
He gets knocked down, but he gets up. They're going to keep him down.
And you'll enjoy. This interface is really slow. 7 points of Malagar's soothing healing words.
That is 2 more health than I previously
All right, that's there.
And
zero, I thought, Coda. 7 would be infinitely more than 2 or 0.
I had 5 before I fell down, so
Oh,
I'm doing
gotcha.
good. I'm on the upward slope here.
Okay, and I can still cast a cantrip, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will, and now that that particular hyena is actually damaged, correct?
Yes.
I will urge it to consider some of its impending mortality for 19 points of necrotic type damage.
Ooh. Let me make you a wisdom save. I'm not super good at that. Don't.
That's a nice hit, sir.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
All right. The yin whoops ruefully as she is enveloped in your necromantic damage.
Matt Malagar says, think about that.
She looks like she probably will. Victor.
Yes. I will continue to pile on the final remnant of the ambush by attacking with my sword.
Woo! Sword!
Surprising!
Sword attack!
Who even are you anymore?
Straight down on its head. Oh, right.
Ron's like, how does Roll20 even?
Can
Sorry.
you down to?
Since I don't use set interface.
I thought my turn took a long time, but
I apologize. I apologize. I did not have the extension turned on.
Can you take me to Funky Town?
There we go. Was that it? Was that me? There we go. Ah, congratulations. I missed. Excellent.
You did. After all of that.
Wow.
Woohoo! Thank you, Old Slow Tiger and Brother Flounder for their additional contributions to the Player Inspiration Challenge.
Yay.
Next one is the second
My
swing.
cats are knocking shit off my desk. I'll be right back.
Hot,
Now that I see how it is, now that I'm hitting Paige Fleas.
right?
I think I hit anyway.
I hope you did. Like,
About ready to give away.
he
the
probably
cats.
does it.
No, you're not, Paige.
You're right. Munin would be sad if I gave him away.
Can we go in now?
Yes, little brothers are just always a pain in the ass. It's just true.
Oh Lord, things I can agree on.
Yep. All right. So a 19 does hit. So I will take 26. Do I take the 3 or the 5 as well?
You do not.
Okay. However, that is enough damage to bloody me.
Yay!
Obvious signs of distress and damage.
Phew.
Anything else?
No, I'm done.
For a minute there, I thought you were going to be like,
Oh,
"You've blooded
I'm
me,
sorry.
and
No.
now I
I'm
go
sorry.
into a rage."
I did have something else for that. Following up your attack is some acid spit.
Ooh.
For 3
Violent.
targets.
I will
Sorry.
take an additional 3 points of damage.
I was distracted by stuffs. All right, so I am currently on the floor.
Indeed.
I just got knocked down. I was
You
told
got
to get back up again. But I'm sitting here looking up at the sky, and I'm just like, you know what?
Is beautiful.
You know what's tasty?
What?
Hyena.
I doubt it, man.
So,
They eat a lot.
Paige, I'm going to use my bite attack.
Okay.
But not
We
just
don't
any
get to see that very often, so I'm excited.
Short rest.
I
Okay,
hate-
so this is... Oh,
I hate to break up your whole narrative, but you're currently standing under Mr. Grumpy Pants. So really, you're not seeing the sky so much as you're seeing a big old heavy goat belly and a giant pendulous set of balls.
Balls.
Yeah.
so you know it's delicious? No. Okay.
Like, boy, howdy, I took that in a different direction than you did, I think.
All right. Well, I'm going to...
Secretly, not so
What is
secretly.
secretly?
Paige, I'm going to roll over and really, truly embrace that crocodilian nature and
Okay.
just go at this hyena like frickin' Animal Planet. All right? That's what I got.
Okay. I'm here for it.
Does an
Whoa.
18 hit?
An 18 does hit.
Oh,
But see,
Are you using the advantage or the inspiration?
well, so he said he rolled over, so I thought that meant that he rolled out from under Old Grumpy Pants and stood up, because that way he doesn't have disadvantage, right?
yes. Although I
Hey,
can't actually get to my pawn, so
Oh,
Well-
because when he said crocodilian, I thought he was intentionally attacking from prone.
Right?
so now you can reach your token.
Chomp,
You can
chomp.
appear on any square, outside of any of those 4 squares.
and as a lizard folk, I've got the Hungry Jaws ability. Once per short rest as a bonus action, make a bite attack. If it hits, gain 3 health. So not only does this enjoy 7 damage, I will take my 3 health.
And you have stood up, yes, because you didn't
Yes.
make that attack with disadvantage.
I
so-
did, which is half of my movement that I'm really not using anything anymore. And then I will, now that I've got it in my teeth, attack it with my sword.
Ooh.
That's
Classic
The 19
combination.
will hit.
a 19 for 15 points of damage, followed up by a non-natural 20. I got really excited there for a second. For 12 points of damage.
All right, and with that, the yin collapses,
Murder!
no longer threatening you.
Woohoo!
Paige, I start harvesting some parts.
Okay,
Well, it's going to be loincloths all over again?
Yeah.
Are you? I mean, we don't want to make a bad impression on the Gnolls. Do you think they would get upset if we came in bearing like
The flesh of their cousins.
hyena heads and stuff?
I don't know. Are they cousins? Do you think that the Gnolls sent these?
Well, considering we never actually talked to him, I don't know that we can make that call.
So we could err on the side of caution, or we could just say that since we don't know, you should just do whatever you want.
Which is what
I
you'll
mean-
do anyways.
I mean, what if I leave the skins and take the meat?
Think on the bright side that Wildfire is not here to save us from ourselves for once. Like, it would be amazing.
I mean, I don't expect they would know what dried hyena meat looks like.
They might be able to recognize like the fur and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. What if I leave the fur? Would that be acceptable, Commander?
I mean, you do you. We're in a new environment. There's a lot of it could turn out they'll respect us more carrying trophies of a battle against dire hyenas.
All right, I start carving away parts because I'm doing me.
okay. It'll probably take an hour to butcher and fillet and skin these animals because they're sizable.
I'm gonna take a short rest. I'm
I was
gonna
about to say, that sounds like a great plan.
Malagar's gonna
I-
kick back and relax.
All right, I'm definitely going to be spending some hip die here.
He pulls out a beach umbrella from somewhere and sets it up in this rocky terrain.
All right, let's see if I can do this correctly. 2d12.
Before Wildfire disappeared into the ether, he chucked the sock at one of us.
I was about to say,
Clearly.
yeah.
Clearly.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, how hilarious would that be? Oh, well, now we don't have any of our food either.
we'd be roughing it. We'd all have like a canteen and like a cookie.
I mean, yeah, probably. I have these really nice, noble princess rations, but I can't share those because as soon as I share it with you, it stops being princessy. It just reverts to the shitty stuff.
Like, it is known, the minute you share it with a non-princess, you have ruined the princess aura of something.
It's a tragedy, to be sure.
Malagar,
Didn't we just eat your goat every day and you summon him again next day?
Except I believe that if you kill it to eat it, it disapparates.
Paige, what were you saying?
Yes, as Malagar is finding a spot in the shade because the sun is relatively powerful. It's very bright. It's not exceeding warm. It's in the mid-80s maybe, but and very dry. So it would be remotely comfortable compared to like Atlanta most of the year. But you see a flicker of movement in some of the rocks ahead.
Malagar will sit up and look that way. And say something like, hey, something's out there. That way, he points.
All right. You take a moment, and eventually the scout moves into your line of sight.
Oh, hello.
And you see a scout crouched down and looking at you from above on one of the rocks with a hyena of totally appropriate size sitting by the Gnoll side.
Malagar will wave up at them and then glance over where Ross is clearly still butchering dead hyenas.
Yep.
And Ross is like covered in blood.
Oh, yeah.
Sorts of shrug at this point that's not really a salvageable situation. But he'll call out to the scout and go, "Oh, hello. We've actually been sent to help you. Are you with the larger contingent of Gnolls?"
All right, Keegan, I love you, and you're shedding way too much.
Why are you sending them away from me?
Just as a quick aside note, while we shift around some void kitties, I do take a pin out of my mouth and put it into part of the hide and just hold up like a test version of the newest loincloth. It's spotted. It's going to be all the rage.
Like, do you even have external genitalia?
He's a cloaca.
No, probably not.
He does it. He does it to blend in with the human society, Paige.
And Paige, we also already established this is not for me. It's for my Etsy page. Who do you think is providing the barbarians of the world with their loincloth?
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
Oh boy. All right. So as you say that, the creature seems to narrow its eyes and look at you more closely, and then disappears back behind some rocks.
I mean, we're here to help you. If you wish to parley, it looks like a Gnoll scout has found us. Perhaps in the next few minutes, we'll have some other visitors. So look lively now and perhaps scrape off some of that excess blood off your face there, Ross. You look, frightful.
I mean, I get one of the less bloody towels. And
No. I'll prestidigitate, Ross. I use some of the magic imbued into me by my arcane connection to the earth to make you slightly less bloody.
All right. So a minute passes.
I mean, we're just going to finish our short rest and then proceed. I figure we don't have a lot of control over the Gnolls in their native environment. They will attack us. They will parlay with us. They'll shadow us. Whatever they want to do, we can't really stop it.
Truth.
Okay.
Did the Gnolls actually mention how they were being controlled by the Thayan wizards?
The Thayan wizards had sort of locked up and enchanted their matriarchs and threatened to do bad things to the matriarchs if the other Gnolls didn't agree with what they said. Told them to do.
Scout will report us to the Thayan wizard.
There's a chance that they will.
Well, there's a chance that they will? Oh, you had a good one, Victor. I
don't get it.
They will. They will. You know, there's a different vowel in there. Oh, shite.
Like, there's a chance that we might fulfill our obligation to free the matriarchs by wading through the bodies of the entire Gnoll clan as the Thayans successfully use them as a shield. That would be less than ideal.
I agree. I feel like that would go against the point of the agreement we made.
All right. Well, you finish your short rest and head down, head in a continued easterly direction towards where you have been told the Gnoll camp is.
Yeah, we have. It's on the ruins of an old city, right? Didn't it show up on our map?
I think it was pointed out where it was on your map, and it is in the ruins of an old city.
So we'll probably be able to find it.
Sure.
I hope we made a good impression on this scout.
So after you've traveled for probably a half hour, you see you're continuing on it looks like a game trail. This is all savanna, so there's some trees and some scrub, but it's a lot of just grassland and bare patches of sand and earth. But you see very obviously in the middle of a path what looks like a little bundle of leather tied up with a string, like a sack. It's about this big.
We don't have a bomb squad, do we?
You're the wizard, buddy. You are the bomb squad.
I just watched Hurt Locker, so
Malagar will saunter over and take a look at this thing.
It looks like a piece of hide. From what animal, it's kind of hard to tell without further inspection, but it looks like it was largely brown with kind of a black area and a white stripe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tied up with a crude piece of twine so that you can't see what's in it, but it's lumpy and it's about this big.
Well, I love it when things are described as lumpy.
What do you think it is?
Well, there's one way to find out.
Paige, does it smell like meat? I hope it's meat.
I mean, the leather smells perhaps a little fresher than ideal.
Is it?
But not meat, no.
Is it the right size to be a giant eye made entirely of meats?
Yes.
Gross.
That's why I asked that, because I didn't want to know the answer.
Like, you knew what the answer was.
Right.
Like, I don't know why you asked it, because you it's not that you didn't want to hear the answer. You already knew it.
I just hope it's not wildfire.
I just wanted the callback, really. That's all I wanted.
Right?
I wanted credit for the callback without the feelings, which isn't really how that works.
Malaga is going to go ahead and just untie the bundle. Open the bundle.
Inside, you find a couple of small loaves of bread about palm size, like and a hunk of whitish cheese with a yellow rind.
Huh.
And it's got a little smaller bag in it that's a piece of hide tied up with leather. It's about like, I don't know, it's like a small dice bag. It looked like it'd hold about 66.
I will look in there.
Is this a Paige Lightman convention like pack? It's got cheese and it's got a set of dice and it's.
I mean,
right?
this is how we travel. Like when we go to conventions, we have Amazon deliver snacks to our hotel room, so we don't have to haul them back.
I mean, all it needs is a little bit of aspirin and some like Metamucil in there. Like, you know,
right?
It's a great way to live.
Yes. So
it does say Crown Royal on the side.
It does say Crown Royal.
No, it's way smaller. It's totally true, Al. I should have a microwave in there too. You see a white crystalline substance in there. It's like salt.
Really?
Salt.
What?
It's not powdery. It's crystalline. See, I'm chemistry.
That's kind of fancy.
Malaga will kind of like open the bag a little bit to show everyone else. What do you think that is?
I wonder if those dire hyenas were also a problem for the Gnolls and they're thanking us for killing them, that would be a nice coincidence.
Depends
As
on what
opposed to
this...
because the other alternative is that they're the sacred god beasts that they worship and we just murdered them.
Perhaps. I feel like it depends on what this substance actually is. Does anyone have a background in physical chemistry?
You mean the salt? You're asking us what the salt is?
Yes.
Paige, I'm gonna take a little bit
No.
of it on a claw.
No.
I'm gonna put it on my
No,
in
don't
my
do
mouth.
that.
It tastes salty.
Sure. Can I throw like a survival or nature at something to identify this mysterious substance? What color does the world turn in my eyes?
Dudes, it's just salt. It's salt. It is quartz salt.
I think it might just be salt.
Wait, you say this is coarse salt? If so, where's the course?
This would actually be perfect for the meat
I
that I was planning on jerkying.
Jerkying.
Oh, good. That almost went.
Yes,
What else?
chlorine trifluoride. That'd be fucking hilarious. We've also eaten through the bag.
I do want to say that is twice in one weekend that chlorine trifluorine has come up in my vicinity. What is happening?
I think
Actually-
we should,
Go ahead.
I think we should all eat some of it. I imagine the Gnolls are watching us.
Salt.
Malaga will take one of the pieces of bread and put some of the cheese on it and then sprinkle some of the salt on top of that. This seems like the serving suggestion, he says. He takes a bite.
I mean, the bread is somewhat coarse.
Yes.
And it doesn't quite taste like wheat bread. But it's rustic and pleasant.
Malaga's
The cheese
enjoy-
is rather sharp. You know, it's the
Yeah.
kind of sharp where it makes your cheeks kind of prickle down here.
Malaga's enjoyed enough pharmacopoeia that, a little bit of unrecognizable substance probably won't hurt him too much.
I mean, you just ate salted bread. Like, Ross is looking at you like you have just eaten like anchovies or something. Like,
Anchovies are delicious. Fight me.
okay, sure. Like, I'm trying to think of something that I would not consider delicious, but like
Brussels sprouts.
Pineapple on pizza?
pineapple on, like you have just eaten pineapple on pizza. Like,
So does Malagar experience anything unusual?
I mean, kind of a pleasant picnic sensation.
Excellent. He'll finish the slice of bread that he has. Anybody else?
Yes, Victor will also partake.
Oh, just a little bit of bread though, and I want to spread that salt across the cheese so it soaks in and really brings out the flavors.
Okay.
All right.
Anyone else?
I mean, if you're all going to have a sandwich, they're all going to be very small.
like
It's only a pack about yo big.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But if
I
you
will-
slice the bread, it becomes much easier.
I will take a slice of bread, put some salt on it.
I mean,
Malagar
you have a whole sack full of hyenodon steaks.
I know, like I'm gonna try it this way though, Paige. How awful is it?
You didn't want any cheese on it? I figured
I mean,
you'd go for
it
the
tastes
cheese for
like-
sure.
Bread
Oh,
with
is there
a
cheese
salt
too?
on it.
I did put cheese on it.
Okay. The bread is rustic
Ugh.
and the cheese is sharp.
Ugh.
And if you had a bottle of red wine, it would be pretty nice. But
that I'm into, but
I
also-
like how...
no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that I'm into. Sadly, I think I'm out of red wine.
Well, all I've got is this Princess Prosecco, but as soon as you taste it, it'll be vinegar on your tongue, so I'll just have to give it a bit.
no, it'll still be good to him. It'll be vinegar on your tongue.
Wait, but I'm the princess.
Right? But once he tastes it, it's no longer princess approved.
Does that
Right.
bottle...
It'll be ruined for everybody.
Does that bottle have your face on it?
All right, let's look right here.
That's amazing.
I know I am, but I appreciate you mentioning it.
I'm genuinely glad that this bread and cheese plate here has brought us to a standstill. Really, anyone could have ambushed us in the
Right,
10 minutes that we.
I was going to ask, like,
That
can we draw out this tasting scene for another 18 minutes and just have that, when we finally decide to leave it, that will be the time for the break?
Next time there'll be some sort of fancy charcuterie plate, and we'll just be TPK.
Oh my god! If there's a charcuterie plate on this show, you fuckers are toast.
Ras
That's what I'm gonna bring in the next time I want to have a really dangerous fight is a charcuterie plate.
But you know what you should
will devour a charcuterie plate.
But you know
Even the olives?
Kill us.
What?
Everybody knows it, right?
Yes.
Say it with me. Say it with me.
1, 2, 3. Gelato.
All right, but tasting aside, Commander, I believe you were going to give us an order to get us out of this.
Yes.
However, Valley Security just subbed for 2 months.
Oh, appreciate
the charcuterie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So much Stenson.
And Brother Flounder demands to know the gelato reference, so you should probably tell the story quickly after this.
We don't have time for that.
No, the story is there was once a game set in Italy.
Yay!
We all had a wonderful Italian vacation. There was lots of gelato. Paige threw up her hands in disgust and has never been the same since.
It was supposed to be a gritty Cold War 80s theme. It came out. We started playing it right after Atomic Blonde came out. It was supposed to be gritty and hardcore, and we turned it into
Atomic Blonde plus vampires.
Right. I was looking forward to having the second most awesome fights that went to George Michael songs. Like, it was going to be amazing.
And we turned it into not that.
it. We will pick up the packaging and we will keep walking.
Okay. So you walk for probably another 30 minutes, and you round kind of a corner around a little mound of hills that's certainly easier to go around than over. And as you do, you see a spread of about 8 gnolls standing, barring the way in front of you. They don't have weapons in their hands, but they do certainly have various accoutrements strapped to their person. The leader steps forward and walks a few paces towards you with their paws
in plain sight.
With their paws in plain sight, and growls in not particularly good common. My name is Oduski. What are you doing here?
Wait, like Oduski?
Oduski.
I'm pretty sure there's a brewery named after you back home.
The gnoll
No.
like tilts head to side, and one ear goes ring.
No, he's Polish.
Oh, right. It's spelled completely differently. Anyway, so we are a group of foresters and allies that are here looking to help you after we met. Name?
I don't remember their names.
This is
Euphraeny.
It's like Wildfire's not
was
here to
the
make that ink check, and now we're just like, that person. We met that person.
Line.
They were like this tall. They had spots, kind of like doors, a long
No,
snout.
definitely Gnolls. We're pretty sure.
Which gnolls were these?
I mean, our characters would remember. It was very important.
Euphraeny.
Euphraeny.
Wait, and wasn't there another one?
That name's
Yeah, there's definitely another one with a different name. Is it in the campaign document?
Anyway, so we met a couple of Gnolls who came to us and said that your matriarchs were, they'd been got by Thay, and, there we go, Sarashal and Euphrates. That was the news. Anywho, so they mentioned that your matriarchs got got by the evil wizard fucks of Thay, and they were looking for somewhere to call home, and turned out that Aglarond happened to have what's the territory you're going to put them all in? Anyway, there's space in Aglarond. And we're here to help you get your matriarchs back and get you out of here and over to Aglarond, so that you can help defend it from Thay.
Yeah, the area just to the southwest of the mountains next to the river Lapindrar.
Right. So we come in peace, and we're here to help you.
All right. The Gnoll troop looks at you impassively. Their faces are hard to read, and Oduxy shrugs and goes back to talk to the rest of the Gnolls. I don't suppose anybody here speaks Gnoll. Anyone?
Wait, that's a language?
Of course, it's a language. Paige is running the campaign.
No, it's not just. God damn it! It's not just me.
I'm gonna have to go check D&D Beyond to see if
Paige,
that's an action.
It doesn't matter if it's just you or not. This is your world.
No. It's better if I can show Ron in the rules.
Oh,
Well, the problem is in 5th edition in non-page D&D universes, I don't know if the Gnolls can even talk.
I cannot wait to bring the receipts. Let me just save this.
okay.
We done fucked up now.
We just got
Yep.
real.
You're lucky this is not like PowerPoint presentation type of material.
Okay. So just because I already got it up, the 5th edition Gnoll under languages does say Gnoll.
Cody,
Right.
you're stealing my thunder, sir.
I was going to say, well done.
Yep.
Well done, Coda.
The
I
truth
think
is the truth is the truth.
currently none of us speak Gnoll, and I'm trying to learn Primordials, so someone else will have to try and learn it.
N-U-L-L, but that's about it.
So close.
Okay. I just
They
want to
might
point
share
out.
a common alphabet.
They might. I just want to point out, though, as willing as I am to make things up out of whole cloth when I need to, this thing I do not.
Paige, you're willing to make things up at whole cloth? So is Ras.
That's not cloth. That's not cloth.
Walk right into it.
Oh. All
You may
right.
have a point of inspiration, sir. That was
That's
awful.
it. If anybody is here is playing a barbarian in another game, I need you all to support the Ross Etsy collection. Okay, show up to your next game in a wonderful handmade loincloth. Let everybody else know where you found it.
What's the name of of Ross's Etsy store?
I mean, it's-
Hammocks by Ross.
I think it is now.
Well, so exciting. So we wait for the Gnolls to have their private conference that we don't listen in on like jerks.
Jerks.
Yeah, we didn't learn no out of politeness.
Right.
Fair. So the Gnolls converse for a moment or two, and there's some definite pointing in your direction and harsh words engaged. You're able to read that from the body language. Some ears are laid back. One of them snaps at a couple of the other ones.
Oh my.
But after a couple moments, it seems like there is some sort of consensus, and Oduxy comes back over. Euphrates and Sharashal went to the dwarves. They look at Brangian curiously.
Who the fuck is Brangian? She
Oh my gosh. Sorry, Belwyn curiously.
right? You went to the dwarfs. I'm a dwarf. Like, I'm not sure what you're meaning here.
So
like, here, she even like takes her helmet off, and it's just like there's sparkles across her hair. And as she smiles, there's that ding.
And the dwarves are allowing us into their territory?
Ish. Ish. It's a collaborative bit between us and the rest of the Aglarondians and their king.
It's more of a cooperative.
Right.
The Gnoll blinks in confusion a couple of times.
The dwarves are allowing you free passage through their lands to Aglarond and will offer some aid when you get to dwarf lands to help you on your journey. But they just don't have the space for you to settle there. But there is space in Aglarond.
The elves will certainly slay us if we go into Aglarond.
No, they will not.
Right, Tristan, look how pointy his ears are. He's an elf.
I mean,
the Gnoll does look at Victor's ears a little more closely.
I mean, they're slightly pointy. I'm like a quarter elf, maybe, or an eighth. But we do have a
elfy.
No, I'm not the most elfy. I would like to look at Exhibit A, Ross.
Like the camera pans over.
Oh no! Please,
like Ross
I was confused. Were you confused?
Right, but Malagar's not local. Wait, are you local now? I thought you came.
Not to this location, certainly.
Yeah, he's from the northeast part of.
Wait, I thought you came from what?
Or northwest part of Faring.
I've been all over the place. What was the question again?
We understand.
Around the world.
Oh, first I have to pay respects. Sorry.
Yes.
We understand your hesitation, but basically, Thay is the great enemy of Aglarond, and if you are also the enemy of Thay, we can come to an agreement.
There's a general baring of teeth at the mention of Thay.
And it's the kind of thing that might take decades to accomplish, but if Aglarond eventually is able to triumph over Thay, your people would be able to retake these lands, once they were freed from Thayan control.
The Gnoll holds up a finger, as in, please pause for a second, goes back and talks to the Gnolls and starts kind of haranguing one of them. And that one digs around in their pack and comes out with a scroll, hands it to Adusky, and Adusky brings it forward. And it's a map, pretty detailed map of Thay and kind of the no man's land, Thay, Fesk, Aglarond area that really isn't settled, kind of in the middle where you are now. It's got pretty good detail up to like the north end of the Umber Marshes, but it doesn't even go down hardly as far as the Laprandar. And most of Aglarond is very blank. Show me where.
I will get out the Elder Cartographer's Glossography and open it to the relevant pages where they will be able to see describe the area that's on their map, and then kind of trace. They'll be able to see in the glossography what happens to the south, and I'll point out the region where they'll be settling, kind of to the south of the swamp there, near mountains. Probably it'll be a lot wetter than here, but still kind of open lands.
The Gnoll's eyes narrow, and let's see. And Malagar and Ross, you understand that the Gnoll is definitely trying to damp down on their reactions. They snap at one of the other Gnolls, and the Gnoll that handed Adusky the map comes forward, and there's a rapid conversation in Gnollish as they look at Victor's map and look at their own map, and the other Gnoll starts sketching stuff in to get at least general areas.
Yeah, and I intentionally showed them the eastern side of Aglarond, so I didn't show them like the entire strategic military map of all of
Right.
Aglarond.
Right.
Malagar will gesture at it and say, "Yes, this is a fertile land, and you will thrive."
We should call it this land.
Yes.
I can assure you there is good hunting in this land.
So a lot of ears orient on Ross, and the Adusky comes up and kind of looks Ross up and down. Gnolls are big; they're 7 feet tallish, so they're
Sure. I mean, predator to predator.
right eyeball to eyeball with Ross.
Malagar pops up and goes, "And those lizard men, they know they're hunting."
Isn't that a bit racist?
Am I wrong?
Malagar says doing that, but I feel like both Odesky and Ross's chests are like slowly puffing up a little bit more and more.
No, not really. Not really. Adusky looks like they're taking your measure.
Well, good. He knows his place then.
Okay, so definitely you could not saddle this thing with any sort of pronoun. There's a lot of fur there, and it's hard to tell.
Is this a wee bit arousing, Malagar? Like the way they're just rubbing up on each other?
Yeah.
Listen, let them do it.
And Adusky says, "Huh, you're a hunter then. What sort of game is in that area?"
Paige, I will recall some of the hunts I've had in the Eastern Aglarond area.
Make me what kind of hunts have I had in Eastern Aglarond area check with advantage.
There we go, with advantage. I will take that 22 survival.
Yay!
Okay, so...
And of course, as is tradition, Paige, all of the animals are like slightly bigger than the last time I told the story, so...
Well, I mean, that's just how it works. So yeah, it's mostly like not a variety of large ungulates. There's deer and elk who enjoy the grasslands, but there's not like buffalo or bison or something like that out there. It's too green and cold for many antelopes, so that's not what you find out there. But plus, there's plenty of small game as well.
The elk is especially tasty. I mean, season it with some of the local herbs and spices, and it is delectable beyond imagining. And if that interests you, perhaps I could show you some of these.
And I will pull out some of the elk furred clothing apparel that I've made.
Oh, fuck, I thought it was going to be something else he was going to whip
This
out.
one was murdered on a full moon night as I stalked it through the woods. I caught sight of it on a cliff in front of the moon, silhouetted with its many antlers. And it tried to gore me here.
And I'll show a couple of scars and really upsell the story of this apparel.
Okay. The Gnoll reaches out a hand as if to touch it.
Yeah.
You
Obviously, you have to feel the product first.
Gnoll doesn't care how it feels and brings it up to their nose and gives it kind of a sniff.
This is totally normal.
I mean, how else would you tell? And says, that sounds like it could feed our people, but there are many, many of us.
Well, the area is pretty big, as you can see from the map.
And all of us can come?
Yes. The idea is that your people would take up residence there, and then once you got comfortable, some of you would fight alongside the Aglarondians against Thay as mercenaries.
Against Thay? There's all kinds of chittering, cackling howls at that, and they rapidly to get them to calm each other to calm themselves down. Adusky says, This sounds too good to be true.
I know.
Fight Thay?
We were suspicious also when we found that there's such a powerful ally that could join us against Thay, for the simple cost of us ceding some land that, since elves like forests, the Aglarondians don't view as especially valuable.
And who are you that can make this deal? You're not an elf.
What?
Well, you're sort of an elf.
There you go.
We have Belwyn. She's a princess of the Dwarven people who are,
What?
and
Oh,
also,
right.
and I'm a member of the Aglarondian military.
Captain.
Yeah, let's say I'm a captain. I'm Captain Victor Toussaint, and I've been authorized to offer this.
Well, I think that people would like this, but I am not the one who makes this decision. I must tell you what has happened to my people. It says the problem is that our people, our leaders, have been taken prisoner by the wizards in Thay,
Right.
and there is a terrible enchanter that is holding them prisoner right now. And the enchanter said, "Ooh, fabulous! I like that." The enchanter says that if we do not do as she says, that she will kill our matriarchs, and in fact, she's killed 2 of them thus far.
Right, so we just go kill her, and we bring your matriarchs back, and then we all go on our merry way right across the river.
You say kill her as if it's easy. She has a group of undead as well as giant scorpions who she has dominated and that do her will.
Well, so, now on one hand, that all sounds rough and tumble, but we're here to do it because that's what heroes do.
It's also what professional soldiers do.
Uduxi shrugs. All right. And then snaps at something at one of the other gnolls, and the other gnoll rolls their eyes and starts walking forward and begins casting a spell.
A spell? I will use a reaction to attempt to identify it, and I will use the inspiration that we got.
Oh, okay.
It's probably a good use for it.
14.
Minor image.
Minor image.
Yep.
All right. I will not draw my weapon.
Okay. An image of a Thayan wizard swims into view. The wizard's name is Thazar Ishira, and she has been in charge of our people for about 8 or 10 years. There was another one before her, and another one before him, and another one before that one.
How many did you say was under her command?
Tens of hundreds. Hard to know exactly. Maybe 20 tens of hundreds.
Are you referring to the Gnoll people or to the...
To the Gnoll people.
Okay.
Oh, great.
What about her
Uh,
undead army?
Well, it was larger, but something happened, and she had to send many of the scorpions that she has dominated, as well as quite a few of her undead, off to the northeast somewhere.
I look at Victor meaningfully.
The singing sand.
I know they went northeast to meet up with another group that was going somewhere.
But wait a minute.
Singing Sands is northwest.
All right.
Or
I
west.
was going to say, since it's west, so...
Okay. Sure. No, that's me. The player getting
Northeast is the heart of
that.
Thay.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like
I look at Victor meaningfully. The Halloween episode we played.
Ooh.
Wait, you played a Halloween episode?
Why don't you tell our listeners what happened in the Halloween episode?
I put on a mask and became one with a god. That's about all I remember. How about y'all?
I remember I didn't have power for like that entire weekend, much less the internet.
What do you want from me, Paige? What do you want from me?
So, in the Black Crown of Disaster, a group of evil operatives from Thay, including an undead, a mind flayer, a werewolf, and a necromancer. I think that's everyone. Broke into the Temple of the Seldarine in Belprintalar, which is the capital of Aglaron, and the Temple of the Seldarine is the main temple to all Elven deities, and broke into the reliquaries below the temple and stole an object called the Black Crown of Disaster. And the Black Crown of Disaster is essentially a scroll of Black Blade of Disaster. It is a very rare spell, and copies of it are few and far between. So for Thay to have a copy of this particular spell is a big deal. And now, of course, they do.
Well, I thought the crown was an artifact that you just be like, I feel like using Black Blade of Disaster right now.
That too.
I murdered so many people with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really impressive. We were just like, man, we're really glad we're not over there.
Of course, there was a bit of infighting in the ranks.
What?
Yes. So, regardless, her forces have been depleted. However, she still has many of our matriarchs, 8 of them, in captivity. And because of that, and given that we've lost 2 already, we are not eager to lose any more. If you intend to do away with Thazar Ishira, you have to do it in such a way that our matriarchs are protected. If the matriarchs are killed, then the people will subdivide into many small factions, troops, and clans, and there will be no central leadership to move them to a new place. In all likelihood, if we break into 1 million packs, then the Thavian troops will come and round us up.
I take a look at him. Does he look like he knows how much 1 million is?
One,
Solid question.
they.
Sorry, they.
2, like where does millions come in? Like, how do you guess if somebody knows what 1 million is by looking at them?
Well, I'm just going off of the fact that he said, like, there were X number of 1,000 gnolls before, and now he's talking about, they are talking about 1 million packs. And I'm wondering how we went. Like,
No. The Gnoll estimated when talking to Ross or Victor,
right,
that there was maybe a couple of thousand of them,
right,
and that if we broke into an infinite number of packs, the Thavians would round them up.
So the 1 million was a knowing exaggeration.
Yes.
Right. Okay, that's why I was confused. I was wondering if there was something that wasn't being told, or if that was just hyperbole. Or if the Gnolls, like, if Gnolls in Paige's world, like, when they stop being part of a greater group, they, like, break apart into 5 smaller Gnolls, and that's how they go from, like...
Ooh.
Yeah, don't come at them with slashing damage, or you're just going to be up to your ears in Gnoll cubs.
It sounds like the A plan would be for you to get us relatively close to Thazar Ishira, and then we basically assassinate her. Another way we could do it
quickly enough so that the matriarchs aren't harmed.
Alternatively, we could attempt to free the matriarchs first and then go after her.
The Gnolls cannot help you, and here is why. Should you fail, Thazar Ishira will take it out on us if we have been seen to have helped you. So any help we give you must be secret and deniable. Because the result of you failing will be the beheading of the leadership of our entire greater pack.
Okay, but if we fail, we all die too. You get that part, right? Like, there's going to be, like...
You are not capable of running away from a fight? Especially when faced with superior strength or numbers?
I look around at the rest of the party other than Malagar, and I'm like, no, I don't think we have that problem. Nope, never seen that problem before in this group. Nope.
The Gnoll seems to be implying that somebody would surely be a fucking idiot if they didn't run away from a clearly superior fight.
Why didn't you look at me there?
Malagar would in that fight.
Surely you must see this as your opportunity to throw off the shackles of your oppressors.
Absolutely, which is why we will give you any help in secret that we can. However, the risks to our people are great if you fail. Any hope we have of throwing the yoke of Thay off will be completely gone. Completely gone if you try this, fail, and then we're left with the ruins.
Well, but like if we start and we, get her on the ropes or whatever, you guys could pitch in and kind of tip the scales.
If the fight is a sure thing, yes.
Well, of course it's a sure thing. We're the ones doing it.
I don't like fair fights.
What? Who likes fair fights? Fucking idiots is who.
I kind of like fair fights.
That, Duxie is kind of like, she gets it.
I'm going to remember that about Oduxie.
That they don't like fair fights?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I feel like they've expressed their concerns to us, and this will be our fight.
That's fine.
That means we get to, after we defeat Thazar Ishira, which is basically a foregone conclusion, surely. That means we get to keep all of her powerful loot and stuff if you guys don't help.
We have no need for the evil implements of Thay.
What?
We are giving them the greatest gift, which is a new homeland, so...
Right. And freedom. The whole freedom thing. But we'll take care of this.
Perhaps you could go over some of the more intricate details of where they're being kept, so that we can come up with a formidable plan.
Sure. Duxie drops to a squat in the path and starts arranging pebbles into shapes.
Oh, so bad.
Oh, Fiddy, stop. And starts arranging pebbles into shapes, and you see a sort of U-shaped wall. Duxie says, "This is an old city that is mostly just ruins, but we've used it as shelter for a while. The Thayans have built a house there, a human house, a couple of stories with a tower that's much taller. And the matriarchs are kept in the tower, we believe. The wizard spends some of the day around the Gnolls, ensuring that they are doing as they demands, and some of the day in her house doing wizard things. What more do you need to know?
What is the house made out of?
Reclaimed stones from the ruins.
Of course it is.
Damn, Ron. So, wait. There's time that she spends out with the Gnolls, which is to say, away from her defenses, right? Is that what
No. She'll either have scorpions or some of the undead with her at all times.
Okay, all right.
She usually finds a way to make an example of a Gnoll every handful of days. And by make example, I mean whip someone near to death or kill them. She's turned a fair number of our folk into zombies. Of course, the zombies obey her.
Do you know exactly where your matriarchs are being kept?
No, we think that they're in the tower of the house, because sometimes Gnoll servants go in to do things in the house. They're never allowed into the tower, and they haven't seen the matriarchs. So we think the matriarchs are there.
Why?
Go ahead.
Why do you think the matriarchs are still alive?
Every, I don't know, few days or so, maybe more than that, she'll parade one or two of them around.
Mm.
She often dominates them when she does, so that they will say things like, Thay has our best interests at heart, or that we are to obey Thazar and everything.
Right. So how do you know that two of them are dead?
Because she killed them in public in front of us.
All right. Sounds legit.
Did she
What?
raise them into her undead army?
Yes. One she killed when there was an uprising. We tried to get away. So she killed one, crippled another, and beat another couple dearly to death. And these are the matriarchs of all of our biggest clans.
What about one of those underground areas in the house? What did you call them? Basements.
The house does not have a lower level that we are aware of. It is only above ground, 2 stories.
So you said Gnoll servants go there. How often do they go there, and do they take anything when they go?
They're usually tasked with bringing things like meat and firewood. Or sometimes if there is a train of supplies from Thay, the Gnolls will be told to help unload it.
Right. How often? Go ahead.
Perhaps some sort of basket of laundry.
I was leaning towards that. Like, how often do these supplies come in? And, like...
Maybe every moon? Maybe once every 2 moons?
I look up and then see that there's not the comfort of stone above me, and then I look at someone to explain what that means.
Once every 10 days?
Yeah.
So when was the last one?
The last delivery was before the last moon, so it had to be at least 10 days ago.
All right. Well, that could be a way in. We could. You guys could, or y'all, in the common parlance. You know, they say this down in Boulder Hall sometimes. It's not something popular with the nobility, but it's nice and all-encompassing when you say y'all. If we took out the fans bringing it and we got in the supplies, and that way y'all didn't know what was in the supplies and took us directly in, that could be a thing, right? Or does she do some sort of like scanning or magic or some other shite on this stuff when it comes in?
I don't know.
Is there somebody here that would know that makes these deliveries?
Not in particular. It's different ones of the people every time.
Right.
Well, when we get to the city,
who's around?
When we get to the city, would we be able to talk to a Gnoll that had previously made the deliveries?
It's not a city. It is merely an encampment.
Right.
And, I mean, yes, I can find someone who's been inside the house.
That would be great.
She'll usually pick as high-ranking a Gnoll as she can and get them to lead the work detail in order to humiliate them.
Right then.
I would fear that waiting a 10-day may be out of the question as well.
It's possible we could ambush her while she is, walking around showing her power, but it feels like she would be more ready for an attack than inside her house. I mean, everyone relaxes to some degree inside their house. Almost everyone, at least.
This is why the people prefer tents or sleeping under the stars.
I find that the undead tend to never relax.
Is Thazar Ishira undead?
I don't think so. She smells like people. Human people.
But you said her undead accompany her into the house.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'm sure
As well as the scorpions.
her undead guardians won't sleep or rest, but I'm just assuming she's the most dangerous.
Scorpions can walk on the walls and the ceilings in the house.
Well, that's just creepy.
Fucking scorpion spider terrible hybrid is that?
It's nothing.
They're about
compared
this
to-
big, and the knoll
What,
shows a span
well,
that's
you're
like
gonna have
5
to
feet
lean
long.
back because the camera can't encompass
Right.
how wide your arms are.
Yeah, but even a knoll's arms are bigger than mine. So the knoll indicates a span of about 6 feet across. The scorpions are that big.
Oh, great.
That holds nothing to the spider dragon spiders.
Sure.
The what?
We'll have to tell you about them later. It was quite horrific.
Talk to me when these scorpions are interbred with a black dragon.
I mean, dragons do fuck just about everything, so.
Yeah, keep
Right,
Goose away from them.
Maxim, you're right. She is dusty and dead ass. Maxim, you get a point of inspiration. You target him. I have assigned you a point of inspiration.
Ooh.
Damn.
So we have limited information where we are now, but we should go to the encampment and, with the tentative idea of trying to get inside the house. If that doesn't seem practical, then we'll attack her outside the house. I mean, that's kind of our two options.
Wait.
The camp is not very far away. He kind of looks at y'all and looks at Branch Belwyn. Sorry, that's twice I've done it.
Just keep calling me by my mom's name. It's cool. Oh,
He looks at Belwyn's short legs. It might be somewhat of a longer walk for you, but no more than a short while. We can take you to Gassenvar.
I mean, all right, but I'm not gonna be the one walking it, so sure.
Do you want to go now or after sunset?
I mean, like, is she gonna do an inspection before the end of the day? Like, is it safe to go now?
It's never safe. She doesn't keep a regular schedule. I feel like that's intentional.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, Ron, your camera was doing something amazing on it.
Amazing. Terrible.
Amazingly terrible. Like,
What?
super pixelated. You were turning into a...
Rock.
no, yeah, more like an ooze. Like,
Ooh.
It's because I was thinking so hard about a good
the
plan.
negative square root of a rock.
I was using all the bandwidth with weighty thoughts.
Oh, yes, yes.
That makes sense. I can believe that.
But I haven't changed anything on my end, so hopefully it recovers.
It did.
Okay, excellent. I don't want to freak anyone out. This is an inclusive stream.
Yep.
Should we attempt to disguise ourselves from at least like a mile away? We wouldn't look suspicious. Because right now, I think anyone that sees us it'll be immediately obvious. But if we throw out some,
Your metal armor is very obvious. None of us wear metal armor. It's too heavy.
we can cover it or take it off.
See, I used to think the same thing as well, but this is Dwarven make. It's quite flexible.
You just have a breastplate, right?
Exactly.
I've got
Half-plate. Okay. Yeah, Dixie comes over and makes like they're gonna touch your armor, do you draw back or tell them not to?
No, but I do definitely puff up my chest to be the bigger predator here.
Duxie doesn't look threatened. They kind of put a claw under one of the plates of metal and says, "Perhaps, but it's heavy, and we like to go long strides, long ways in search of game. I can bring you clothes if you want. Will take me not very long to go get them and come back."
We would appreciate it.
Oh, aye.
Right. I can come back with clothes. Nobody will think that I can make it so that nobody will become suspicious. You've accepted our gifts of bread and salt, and
cheese.
Well, yes, we had some of that too. We make it from the goats that we sometimes herd.
It was really good.
I pale a little bit at the thought of the salted bread. Immediately recover with the thought of goat.
No, they don't keep very many goats, and they're only for dairy.
That seems like a terrible waste, but okay.
You should ask them about antelope sometime, though. So this means that we have declared peace with your group. I will pass that along to the people as well, those that I think I can trust. Some of them would see this as a opportunity to move up the ranks in the clan, to assume higher positions. We won't tell those.
Right then. Sounds great.
All right. Duxie gives you a sharp nod, and then barks something at the other gnolls, and then heads off. What do you do?
Wait patiently, I guess.
Okay. So an hour and a half passes.
Sure, I'll use some of that time to go hunting.
Sure. There's abundant game here. There's rabbits and all kinds of small ground mammals in the area if you're looking for something small.
You had me at ground mammals.
Fair. There's also, you see a small group of antelope prong by. And then you see kind of in the distance a larger herd of some other kind of ungulate.
I just imagine Ross coming back, his mouth stuffed with a half a dozen gerbils, just looking so happy.
Full like a squirrel.
Yeah.
No. In my imagination, there's no squirrels.
Yeah, no, of course not. No squirrels. No squirrels or goats are ever harmed in the making of.
I'm just saying his cheeks are full like a squirrel.
Oh, yeah,
like
full like.
swollen out.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, okay, yes.
You know, my food pouches, those are common in reptiles, right?
Yes, filled with marmosets.
So I'm sure Ross gets back in an hour and a half. So
Okay.
that seems longer than O'Duxie claimed it would take, which isn't fantastic.
So they come trotting up. You can kind of see them. They make it a point to run or trot. They're not running. They're loping in a direction that would directly expose them to your camp. So you're well aware that they're approaching.
Wait. I got that they were tight with Ross, but I didn't realize that they were eloping already.
But bump.
You may have a point of inspiration. So
See, when we play in person, we throw things that
Yes.
we actually have specially prepared foam dice. They're about this big. They're like
Fists. They're like tiny little fists.
they're like tennis ball sized. They're like tennis ball sized.
They're about softball size.
You think they're bigger than that? I haven't thrown them at anybody in a year.
The size is the least important part of these dice.
Yes, but they're foam, so we can throw them, and I don't worry about the chandelier. And they were good to launch across the table. Let me assure you. And those were the days. They'll come again. So anyhow, Aduxi comes back, and they have a pack on their back. And they get close and said there was she wanted to make an example of one of the matriarchs. It took me a while to get free. Anyhow, they dump the pack at Victor's feet and say, these are clothes from the people. If you put your hoods up, it might take a while before someone notices you don't have ears or muzzles.
I assume we would have taken some of that time to, oh god, what's the word? Doffed our armor? What's the opposite of on?
Doff.
I got it!
I mean, isn't it nod? That's the opposite of dawn.
So while Aduxi says don't have ears, it's clear that Aduxi regards humanoid ears as vastly underdeveloped for the job that they should do.
But I don't even want to know what they think of my ears.
Right? They have no idea what's going on with you. They feel like they have to sign everything to you.
Well, I guess we should put these on then. Malagar will. Yeah, Malagar has a gleaming white robe that he's been wearing this whole time. I guess I should swap out of this, and so he slowly peels the robe off. And as he does so, you notice that there's just there's sort of a blinding flash of bronze from about his collarbone. That's sort of it's completely form fitting. You can sort of see his pecs and abs get revealed, and it goes all the way down to where the happy trail kind of and it just tucks right into those leather pants. But his entire torso seems to be gleaming, almost liquid bronze. Hello.
Oh, I see what you did there.
The Gnoll certainly looks at that with some consternation.
Don't worry, the robe will cover it up, he says as he pulls the robe around him. And I think I might even have a leather mask that actually looks kind of dog-like in my bag here. Let me see.
The Gnoll rolls their eyes so hard you can practically hear it at the dog-like remark.
Well, Victor will also put on a robe. It will be a much less spectacular show.
Are you taking off your armor or putting it on over your armor?
I will take off my armor. Because in addition to the visual, it also will clank.
Sure.
And, that's a pretty
Aduxi does have offers you pieces of their armor, which is hide or leather, depending on how you want to wear it. How much of it you want to wear.
I appreciate that. I will put on hide allocation of pieces.
Okay.
And then,
let's see. Do I actually want hide leather? Because I think with the unarmored defense of barbarian,
you're probably better off without.
So like, Ross will just kind of slip the robe on over his finest loincloth. It's not nowhere near as good as Malagar's, but
You are.
Belwyn just puts the robe on over her armor, like not understanding this idea of taking it off. Like, what do you mean?
but I mean, you're gonna clank and stuff as you walk around, right?
Right. I mean, wait. I clank when I walk around?
Like, I was about to say, I don't think dwarves even hear that anymore.
Wait, what?
It's weird that when you don't hear it.
It's a little bit more melodic, perhaps, than human clanking, but you still clank.
I
Right.
think it's one
So?
of those sounds that they've heard since birth, so they're just like habituated to it.
That's just the sound the world makes.
Right, like I don't know what you mean. Like,
So, if we're walking through the town, people will think that, like you're like a tinsmith or something. But I don't know if gnolls have those, so it'll probably be pretty suspicious.
We normally smith bronze. If we want steel weapons, we'll trade for them or steal them.
oh, right, there you go. I mean, we got one guy that's already bronzed, and I'll just take some pieces, and that way I'll have those plenty good stuff. It'll be fine.
I can't even tell you how good this feels. It's like wearing nothing at all.
Yeah, you got this whole hard body physique. Like, I just kind of want to tap against you and see what.
Yeah,
sound it
please
makes.
do. I'm open to this. Malaga opens the robe again.
You know what? I'm gonna wait on this until after we're done with the job.
Okay,
But count me as interested.
I'll put you on the list.
Great.
All right. Well, we'll have Belwyn carrying metal knickknacks, so that'll give her reason, I guess, for her to clank. And I hope that
I know this hurts you, Ron, but I'm gonna fail the stealth or any dex check anyways, so it don't matter if I have disadvantage.
Well, there's failing a stealth check, and then there's, hey, that one sounds different than everybody.
yeah, like even if we're on the other side of a wall, they'll just hear you clanking. But I mean,
There's failing a dex check, and then there's clank, 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 clank.
and you're already, somewhat suspicious due to your proportions.
Yep.
But
What do you say they didn't have, smaller sized gnolls?
Our young are much thinner than you.
pretty lanky.
I would stop if I were both of you. I've heard epic tale about the tempers of dogs and being called both short and fat.
She thick, first of all. She ain't fat.
Let's figure out a solution for her and get moving.
Maybe
I think we're short on time.
That is definitely not how Ross read this situation.
yeah,
But gnolls tend to be like tall and lean.
we'll deal with it as as the situation arises. Maybe we can just put you in a big basket and then you won't clank.
Unless it's heavy enough that they roll the basket instead of carrying it, in which case it's going to sound like somebody pushed a drum set down the stairs.
We're not going to roll it around, but we might carry her dignified in a wicker basket.
All right, fair enough.
Do the gnolls have beasts of burden that they carry things on at any point?
That's an excellent question.
Generally, no. We have stayed in this one place for several generations to the point that nobody remembers life how it was. But sometimes the old ones would talk about being more nomadic, and sometimes we would have beasts of burden. They'd even train the great cave hyenas for it. But there's none currently used. The humans tend to use mules.
I can work with that. All right.
So we will head into town.
All right. So it is not town, and this is prior to sunset. You're still doing this in daylight hours, yes?
We will head towards the concentration of the gnolls. Our goal is to rendezvous with the person that can tell us about the interior of the house.
Okay.
Our primary goal is not to get caught.
Fair enough. As you head that way, a crumbling heap of stones comes into view in the distance. You can see a tower of modern construction rising up behind the crumbling ruin. And there's a variety of activity there. There's a group of gnolls doing some sort of training or drill with spears. And there's another bunch of gnolls. Look like they're doing some sort of like mending or clothes repair. There's you can see a couple of patrols of a gnoll and a couple of normal-sized hyenas, like 200 or 300-pound hyenas, not 1,000-pound hyenas. In the area, there's some tents set up in a square behind the house. Do you actually want to go into the ruin itself, where there's a much higher concentration of gnolls and perhaps others, or do you want to observe from a distance? Gnoll patrol. Maxim, you're the best.
We'll probably be from a distance. I mean, there's no real benefit to us plunging into it. I assume that the person that knows the interior of the house will be brought to us, or will just walk out to us.
Sure. As you angle around, you can see. I'll show you the overhead view since it's still after.
Because my understanding is that we're not really hiding from the gnoll population. We're just going in places where O'Duke where clans that they trusted and warned were. I mean, we're doing our best to keep a low profile, but it seems silly that we would be able. I mean, there's no way we can approach an encampment of hunters unseen or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, O'Duxie stays near you, and kind of seats you up on behind some walls to the southwest of this part of the ruins. And like I said, you can see several tents inside a loose enclosure of broken stone walls, including a house. It looks like a 2-story house, various glass windows. It looks pretty nice, pretty well cared for. It's got a 4-story tower on the south end of the house. There are patrols moving in and around the area. And Aduxi says, I will bring someone to you that has been inside the house, at least more than I have. And they leave, come back about 10 minutes later with another gnoll in tow. This one is... what?
While we're waiting for those minutes, the patrols that you mentioned, are those gnoll patrols? Or are they undead or scorpions or what have you?
They are generally gnolls.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see on the map, but it's generally a
We're
gnoll
not
plus...
seeing that.
Oh, really? Odd.
Where we are, and I'm having exciting fun times in running the game. Let's find out!
I think.
Oh, I am! Oh, no!
Ben.
All right. Now, everyone can see what other members of the party were seeing, but not me.
Okay. Yes. So you see a loose ruins with broken stone walls. You see a collection of tents inside of the most intact walls, so they serve as some defense. And that's where you see the house with the tower on the south side. There are several patrols of gnolls, usually a gnoll and a couple of hyenas wandering around. You do see a large skeleton comes out of the house and walks over to the green tent, picks up a barrel, and walks back. And when I say large, I mean it is size large. It takes up 4 squares. It is 10 feet tall and has 6 or 7 arms and 3 or 4 skulls bolted on top, and has various pieces of armor plating welded or screwed into the bones.
Nah, I've thought bigger.
That is a very deluxe skeleton.
It is a very deluxe skeleton.
So, see, stop, my lady boner can only get so erect until smiting it.
Yeah, it does look like prime smite material.
It might even
Like
be a golem rather than a true undead.
Your inner smite sense goes off.
Excellent. I will turn to our guide and ask what is in that barrel.
Probably water.
All right.
The water that we get from the pools nearby, she doesn't like to drink. She says it has a taste.
Well, there's no accounting for taste with Thayans.
No.
These are the same people that keep rotting monsters at their house.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, who even does that?
Gross.
Thazar Ishira.
Just out of curiosity, how scalable does the tower look? Are there any windows?
Let me look.
I know you said the house itself was made out of reclaimed stone. What about the roof?
The roof is made out of slate.
Of course
So, just telling you.
Could we just burn the roof down?
Yes. So, there are no windows on the first story of the tower. There are windows on the east and west sides of the second story of the tower. There is a window on the south side of the third story of the tower, and the fourth story of the tower has windows all around.
And how scalable does it look? Like, is it sheer face or is
No,
there like
it looks like a DC 13 to scale it.
Oh.
On a scale of 1 to 20, you think it's about a 13.
Okay.
If need be, I could climb the side of the tower to see if there's anything inside, Victor.
Yeah, that might be good to know. It'd be probably pretty obvious climbing on the side of it.
I would want to use the cover of night. But you're right, if we were to do that, it would be unmistakable.
You know, what
Oh,
would
shit.
be really useful here is some sort of flying familiar to peek in.
Well, perhaps next week.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Next week. Victor, we don't have a week.
What is this week?
Yes, you speak of.
By the way, I see it. At the rate of time we're traveling, he should be back within a few hours. Possibly minutes.
Ross, what were you looking at just now upon your wrist?
My watch, obviously. But this watch is not just any... Oh, right, it's my invisible watch that keeps track of... You know what? Never mind.
No, I want to hear more.
Yeah, what fucking sorcery is this?
It's something Wildfire gave me that said he'd be back when this hand reached this hand.
Those
So
don't look like hands at all.
as you're watching the big bony thing,
Watching.
Coda, that's awful. I give you another inspiration point. As you are watching, the big bony thing comes out, and it is pushing a gnoll in thick chains in front of it. And behind it walks a slim figure in a red robe with black accoutrement. Their head is shaved bald, their skin is pretty fair. And they say something in some rough guttural language that none of you speak. All of the gnolls in the area make distressed noises, whoops of concern and despair, and the robed figure goes over and begins kicking the gnoll, and does so several times. She begins to cast a spell, but you're more than 60 feet away.
But we can still identify it.
You can still identify it. Would you like to identify it?
I mean, I'm going to try.
You believe it is Dominate Monster.
Dominate monster.
Yes. And then the robed figure steps back, and the gnoll goes down on their hands and knees and puts their face near the robed creature's feet.
It's kind of overkill.
Next to you, you can see a Oduxi, like their hair is standing up. They have kind of like their mane has gone up in kind of a mohawk almost, and they're making a really terrible growl under their breath.
Mind control is the worst.
I might not know the physical characteristics of Gnolls Page, but like Ross's eyes go thin, and he also he knows when a predator is like pissed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna feed in off of that a little bit.
Seems only fair.
So, how far away is the Thayan wizard at this point?
Let's say.
Are they in longbow range? Is what I was starting.
Oh yes. I mean, longbow range is what 600 because you've got sharpshooter.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't extend the range, but it does make it more practical to shoot that long.
No, it doesn't extend the range, but you're not at disadvantage.
Right,
firing
it allows
at
you
600
to
feet.
use the full extension of the range without penalty.
I mean, Victor would just kind of like to put an arrow or two into their skull, but
yes.
So the thin-robed figure is here. The big skeleton thing is here, and let's find my null matriarch.
I'm going to zoom in a wee bit so everybody can see what's going on.
Yes, because I made my tokens very intentionally.
Paige, while you're tokening, Ross is since he is so acutely aware of what is happening right now. I'm assuming that when this happens, all eyes are drawn to.
Yeah, all work in the camp spots. Gnolls that are drilling. I don't have them all on the field, but there's
Sure.
probably a couple dozen gnolls north of the structure
But
who are doing some sort of military drill.
importantly, there is less attention being paid to things that are happening in and around the house as all eyes are drawn to this event.
Yes, and I will point something else out you noticed.
Ooh.
I like
Next
noticing
week
things.
on Feats and Fables.
No!
I live for the moans and wails of my players.
But Russ has idea.
I know, and we'll get to it next week, darling.
And we're going to have to remember that idea at the start of next session. Like, that's the
Do you
coolest part.
need to write it down? Put
Like
it in chat,
on
and I'll put it.
physical paper?
No,
I wrote
write
it down so I wouldn't have to remember.
it.
Write it down in Roll20 in the Roll20 chat because that'll still be there next week.
ooh,
See, I was just going to watch this episode right before next episode next week, but
That is also something I strongly recommend.
because at that point, the internet will reveal to me the secrets of what the fuck I was thinking last week.
The
Only if you say it out loud.
like the internet's real.
Ah!
Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you, dear listeners, for fuck yes. I have a point of DM inspiration. I'm gonna use that next week.
I thought you were going to say I'm going to use that now, and I'm like, what?
Throw down. Okay, I have that there, so I will remember that next week. Thank you, fellow adventurers, for joining us. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you, chat, for inspiration, figuratively and literally. I'm sorry I didn't get to use the DM inspiration tonight because I had no more rolls, but I will use it next week, preferably to the benefit of that wizard. We'd like to thank our listeners and supporters. Y'all have been extraordinarily generous to us tonight with your many, many subscriptions and our many, many dances. Coda, who do we want to give a special shout out to?
I mean, so many tonight. We've got Maxim with their 5-month
Maxim,
subscription.
Maxim,
Rally Security with 2 months. This
Yay, Rally!
this Chakuva person.
Ugh.
Yeah.
They are-
Gross.
Kurgosh
Yay,
And
Kurgosh!
Blue Flounder 47 with the gift subs. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you! Love you
Thank
very
you so much, everybody.
Please join us next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch to see what Ross's big idea was, and follow us to adventure!
Tell a friend.
Yes, do tell your friends.
About
Tell your
banana
friends.
hammocks from Ross.
No,
Right?
don't tell them that.
No,
don't
no.
ever
Yes, no,
tell
no.
anyone
I
that.
mean, listen. Whatever your entry point is, we don't
need
care.
this to get back to me. I want to sit down at a game table at a convention and somebody breaks out a barbarian and they're like,
hammock.
my barbarian's wearing a banana hammock by Ross. And I'm going to be like, yes.
I just want to sit down at a game table at a convention, period, full stop.
I mean,
Oh.
yes.
Truth. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Love you.